Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Business with Gochapachi, where we solve one business issue at a time. So, first of all, I really want to apologize for being so late in posting another video, and also I want to thanks to all of you who have reached out to me and gave your feedbacks. And as many of you know, that I tend to procrastinate a lot. And recently, I found out the reason behind it. I was diagnosed with the ADHD, adult ADHD, and right now I'm on Bupropion, 150 mg, and it's been going great. I have been taking it for past 2 3 days, so hopefully I'll not procrastinate anymore, and I'll be much more active in posting my videos. Also, in a separate series, I'll share my experience with Bupropion and the whole journey of ADHD that I have been going through. Rest aside, let's get back to this video. So I know that many of you are, running your own agencies or some kind of startup or providing services related to AI. So I just wanted to showcase, or you can say, show the whole process of how one can build an AI first startup, wherein most of the things that you're going to do is going to be through the startup only. So the story or the idea behind it is to create a full stack startup wherein we are going to try at least to automate each and every aspect of our businesses. All right. Be it recruitment, be it sales, be it marketing, be it anything. Right. So my previous three videos, you have seen how to create marketing videos or brand creatives for social media. So in future videos, we'll take over and cover all other aspects of businesses as well. But for the same thing, we need multiple other applications as well. All right. And let's suppose you are running an AI agency or any other kind of services business or any kind of business. You need few of the applications or few softwares that are very crucial for you, right? So, uh, like you need Slack to communicate with your team members. You need some kind of ERP system to handle your resource and plan your resources. You need a CRM to handle your customers, leads, and all those things, or sales. And these things accumulate. Let me just show you my screen and we'll start from there. Okay. So if I'll show you, let's suppose if we want to have an ERP, let's suppose we want to get Salesforce. Okay, this is one of the biggest ERP system that is being provided. So, for example, so here we are on a Salesforce screen, which is one of the biggest ERP system provider SaaS. If we go down here and see all the products pricing for a small business, let's see how much it costs. Okay, it costs $25 per user per month. All right, this is what we are going to pay, like 25,000 $25 per user per month. If you have just four employees, you'll have to pay no less than 100 bucks per month. Right now, what we can do here is we can actually use our own ERP system, which is open source and free, just like this ERPNext. It is one of the best ERP systems that I have encountered with, and you can see it is being used by a lot of companies, a lot of billion-dollar organizations are using this ERP system. So it will be fair to assume that it is a good ERP system and CRM system that we are going to need. All right. So what we are going to do is we are going to not just this ERP, CRM, and Slack. Let's go to Slack and let's see what is the pricing of Slack. Okay. Now, if you go for the Pro, you are going to pay anywhere around $2 or $2 per user. But if you have just five users, you are going to pay $10 per month per user, and that too with very less, features and lot of paid or blogged services that they will provide. So it's good, but it's not that good. Anyways, it is from Salesforce. What else you can assume? Similarly, for Slack alternative, we are going to download use Mattermost. Mattermost, if I can show you, Mattermost is pretty similar to Slack. It offers mobile and desktop apps, and it is a pretty good application to communicate with your team in a real time. All right. So the reason why I showed you these things is because when you have a startup or an agency, these small costs accumulate into a large cost. Okay. A friend of mine with just 6 people in his team is paying anywhere around $350 per month on these services. So after having the conversation with him, I thought to make this video because it is stupid easy to self-host all these applications and bypass paying any kind of money to these SaaS based companies. I'm not saying that any of these organizations do not provide value. In fact, they provide much better value. But at the same time, there is a cost associated with it, and many of people or many of business owners are not comfortable with paying such kind of money, at least initially. So this whole system that we are going to build now is going to be a backbone or base of my own startup, which I am planning to build in public. So this is going to be the very first video. Let's start. All right. So very first thing that we are going to do is get a VPS, get a virtual private server. So Contabo is my go-to VPS provider. Basically, they have good amount of options, as well as they are comparatively or competitively quite cheap if you compare to something like DigitalOcean or AWS. So the Contabo is very cheap, and you can buy VPS from any other hosting service. It doesn't matter. So once you purchase a VPS, you'll like this. Once you purchase the VPS, you'll select whatever the VPS you want. You can select the term you want, for 1 month, 6 months. You can select the region and then the storage type that you require in future. Keeping in mind that many of the applications that I am going to show will require at least 4 to 6 cores of CPU. So make sure that you have enough amount of compatibility with the resources that we are going to install. All right. So I'll recommend a uh, 4 core CPU or and 16 GB of RAM at least. All right. For the SSD storage, I think 150 or 300 GB SSD will be fine. Now, when we talk about the operating system, I would suggest you must go with the Ubuntu 24.04. This is going to make your life much easier because there is a lot of documentation available for this, as well as it is one of the best you know operating system that I have used so far. Now, after this, you need to create a password and save this password because we are going to need it in future when we are going to install our softwares and everything, or when we are going to SSH into the server. All right. Now, once you have the server, it will look something like this. So it will look something like this. Let's just copy the IP address, and what we need to do now is we need to install putty on our Windows system, or if you are on any other system, you can install any other SSH client to log in into your VPS. I prefer putty. It is fairly easy to install and run. All right. So we'll run putty now. I have already installed putty, so now we'll copy and paste this IP address. Okay, and then we'll try to open it. Since I have already previously logged into my VPS, so it is not asking me to confirm or to accept the connections, but it is going to ask you, please allow it. Now all right, so we'll copy this, and once you install the putty, you'll copy the host name and open it, log in as root, and the password that we created earlier for our VPS. All right, so you can see we have successfully logged into our VPS terminal, and now we are going to proceed with installing Coolify on this. So Coolify is a platform as a service provider. It provides it is a versatile alternative. So, and you can self-host it. It is open source and free, as you can see. A huge shout out to Coolify. I'll share their link in the description as well. So here we are going to copy this command, and we are going to just run it on our server like this. And this is going to do what? This is going to install it on our VPS, and then from there we'll continue. So as you can see, it is installing Docker. It is creating the network pool. It is installing Coolify. Okay. All right. So as we can see, our Coolify is installed, and now we are going to go to the link that it gave us. Okay. It will ask to enter the details. Now we don't need putty. We'll do everything now from our own end. Let's close this session. I'll enter my name and email address. All right. So let's get started. We'll select localhost because we are not using any other server. We are going to use this server only, but it will be a good practice that you do not host everything on this server. Let's start. All right, so we are here. From here on, we need to do few more things to actually get it right. So as you can see, it is still using our IP address. We need a more approachable name, a domain name. So what we are going to do is assign a domain name. For that, we'll log into GoDaddy, or you can go to any domain provider that you have. And what we are going to do is we are going to create a wildcard domain. So as you can see here, let's open setting, and we'll here change this domain to something approachable, more easy. This is the server domain that I want it to access whenever I want to use a Coolify. I want this domain to access it. Okay. Now I'll go to GoDaddy, and then I'll go to my products, my domains, basically, and I'll select the domain, manage. I'll We have to actually give the IP address of the Contabo VPS. So here we can go to domain DNS. We'll need to add some records, DNS records. So as you can see here, I have added some of them. So no, what we are going to do is we are going to set up our domain for this Coolify instance. So I'll quickly set up it, enter the domain server dot website. So this is going to be my Coolify domain. I'll save it. Okay. So we can see Coolify is running on the same domain. This URL on which Coolify is running. I have entered the URL. So right now the DNS here, the DNS settings that we have to do is we need to add two A records. One is asterisk for the wildcard domain, and one is at the rate for the same domain. Okay. Once done, we have saved it, and then we'll go to the server and we'll update the wildcard domain as well. What this will do is this will provide us with an domain name for every service that we are going to create, and it is going to be very easy, and it is going to be very useful. Now, since we have updated the wildcard domain, let's just see if it works. So my Coolify is accessible, right? We can access our Coolify. Let me see if I can access it with my password. And I've done it already, so yeah. we can see that server.anagathitysolution.in, we have our Coolify. All right. So now let's create our first project. All right. So we have successfully installed our Coolify instance, and now we are going to install some applications, open source applications. The very first application that we talked about was Salesforce, which is an ERP software. And for that, we are going to install the alternative of Salesforce, that is ERPNext. Basically, ERPNext is based upon a Frappe framework. There are a number of applications that has been created, and it's a really big and really giving community. You must check out their website, and if you want, they also provide cloud services, so you can use their cloud services as well. It is pretty amazing and fantastic. Do check them out. All right. So now here from Frappe Docker, we are going to clone this repository into our own repository. As you can see, I have cloned it here. Then what we are going to do is we are going to copy this YAML file, and we are going to just Docker compose, go into Docker compose and paste it here. Okay, and save. What it is going to do is, here are all the containers that is it is going to start. So these two will close upon running. Let's add a site, a URL to our front end. Okay, we have added the domain. So what it does is, because we have already set up our wildcard domain, any subdomain that I put it here, it is going to automatically assign to this particular instance or this particular application. Okay, I'll just quickly rename it. Okay, all right. So what I'll do is I'll just deploy this, and we have to just wait for the logs to get completed. So as you can see, the application has started. These are running. Now if we go to the logs, you can see create site is installing the Frappe. We just have to wait for it to get to complete. Once it gets completed, we'll check out the ERPNext R instance. So as we can see, the current site is set for front end. The create site is done. We have successfully installed our ERPNext. For the first time, it is going to ask for default administrator and password. It is going to be administrator and admin. Just log in it, and it will start onboarding setup wizard. It is going to be pretty easy to set up. Add my details and complete the setup. So our ERPNext is successfully installed. We can access CRM, we can access projects, everything that you need to do. All right. In the next video, I'll also brief you upon how to install custom applications on Frappe on ERPNext. But for now, let's go back to our Coolify server, and we are going to add another application, my favorite one, which is NA10. And these are the services that is being provided by Coolify. One-click solutions, one-click installations are there. So it is pretty easy for anyone to self-host their own applications and softwares. Crazy. I am in love with Coolify, to be very fair. Now we'll just deploy it. It's that easy. If you guys can see and comprehend, it is pretty easy to actually install applications with these one click setups. So it's done. As you can see, it took less than actually 2 to 3 minutes to actually install NA10. And let's check out whether it is installed. It is installed, and just have to set up. All right. So we have successfully installed NA10. We have successfully installed ERPNext. Now what we are going to do is we are going to set up our Google Suite alternative as well. All right. So for that, Coolify also provides one-click installation service for Nextcloud. Here you can see that. So we are going to continue with anything you can select. And the benefit of the wildcard domain, and it's pre, giving you the domain and everything and SSL. It's pretty easy. I need this as well. As you can see, we have successfully installed our Nextcloud instance as well. Let's see if it is running. It just takes less than 2 minutes actually to install these applications, and it's pretty fast and pretty reliable, and it is going to install our Nextcloud. So we have successfully installed Nextcloud as well. So in just few minutes, we have installed an alternative of Salesforce, we have installed alternative of Google Suite, and we have installed alternative of Zapier and Make.com. It's a pretty good setup, I must say. So I'll So I'll end up this particular video here only, and in future I'll add much more applications to this stack. As I said, since most of you are agency owners or startup founders, so this is going to give you much easier control financially as well as organizationally, that you are going to be in control of your own applications and the scalability and everything, and the data is very important, and you will not rely on any pricing change or anything that these startups or these SaaS providers change, like random over the night they change the pricing. So that is not going to be the issue, and the data will remain in the organization. So it's a big win-win situation for all of us. And in next video, what we are going to do is we are going to set up our business over ERPNext, and we are going to sync it through NA10 and Nextcloud, so that our starting of the workflows are done. And then we are going to install or create our own website through AI. Let's see. And we are going to do everything in a full stack manner so that we don't require any kind of external support or workforce. I'll try to keep my workforce as minimum as I can. So if you see me building a recruitment workflow, you'll get to know that I'm going to hire someone. Until then, if I'm not going to build a workflow for hiring or recruitment, rest assured that we are on track of creating full stack AI company, wherein only employees are AI agents. Let's be hopeful, and see you in the next videos, guys. Bye bye. Thank you.